Okay, let's see our effective mutilated storytelling score. Okay, let's go. So we get a cutscene of the Citadel. It's closed above Earth and shooting a white laser beam down on it. Alright. So we order the fleets to Earth. Hackett comes aboard the Normandy and shakes our hand and gives a speech. He tells us this sword fleet thing, and we're like, oh, yeah, cool, great, organization. Fleet admirals are awesome because Shepard sucks with ships, and so that makes sense. He then says there's Hammer ground forces that are going to take London.
London? Why aren't we hitting the Citadel directly?
So Anderson tells us that the station has closed itself. Now, here is where we have to start paying careful attention. See this animation of the Citadel? The image skips and jumps to a cigar-shaped object showing that the Presidium end of the Citadel is closing off. We don't actually get to see this in detail in Mass Effect 1, but it does happen. We can see what appears to be a retractable dome in the loading screens when traveling to the Citadel. At first I thought the Crucible would dock with the Citadel at the Presidium and that it wasn't closed off, but it looks like BioWare actually thought this through. They just weren't totally clear about it, but at least there's evidence showing the Citadel is totally closed off. But didn't we previously see a cutscene of the Citadel closed off and shooting a beam of energy at the Earth? So, if the Citadel is completely closed off, how is this laser thing getting through the hull of the Citadel? Anderson finally tells us this.
The Reapers use this beam to transport humans, alive and dead, to the Citadel.
So the Reapers use this energy space elevator thing, and Anderson then explains this complex strategy of getting a large ground force called Hammer to land in London via shuttle from our space fleet to take out ground forces, AA towers, set up a base. Also, one or more people can get into this magical beam and get up to the Citadel to open its arms so the Crucible can dock. Now, this is the Mass Effect universe. We get transported by opening massless corridors through mass relays. We don't doubt that the Reapers have advanced technology, or can use whatever they want, but why should we suddenly trust this magical unknown tech as a viable means to our problem? We're near the end of the story, and the narrative now introduces an unknown Reaper space elevator that has never been shown before. This is equal to the movie Stargate introducing that teleporting ring beam thing into the narrative in the last 2 minutes, but never actually showing us it being used or how it works or what it does. It's simply hard for us to believe. There are 5 major problems with Anderson's plan and questions you have to ask yourself. This Citadel Beam, what is it? Apparently it transports humans up alive and dead right through the closed hull of the Citadel. If we get to use this, how do we know this is going to be a safe transport? Are there controls at the base of the beam we have to operate or hack? How do we know the thing doesn't liquefy, let alone atomize humans alive or dead during the transport? Or if it teleports humans into a liquefying chamber of some sort? Because if Reapers are teleporting humans, they're probably going to process them, unless they have some non-collector means of making Reapers. It's a completely unknown and alien thing, and we have no reason to think of it as a useful means of transport, let alone where it will transport anyone to, let alone safely. As a corollary to this, we get a plot hole. What happened to the Reapers' previous collection method? Did they even have one? We know the Reapers were destroying people in buildings, but we never saw them collect people like the Collectors. The Reapers never use secret swarms and don't have pods, so were the Reapers collecting humans from other parts of the globe somehow and then flying them into London and then dropping off their human load onto the beam? Do the Reapers even possess shuttles? Of course, that never really stopped the Collectors, but that's because Mass Effect 2 is completely stupid. Remember, borrowing any idea, unless explained, or an intricate component of Mass Effect 2 is dumb. This is a plot hole because it calls into question the motives of the Reapers, and their potentially changing plot as a result of a contrived twist caused by Tim. We simply don't know how they collect and transport humans. So, regardless of whatever the Reapers are doing with humans, let's just say the Reapers figure out what Hammer's plans are. What if the Reapers turn it off? I know they're stupid, but they're not blind. Thousands of forces converging on this weird teleporting platform thing in London is bound to garner attention. They turn it off, all our forces would have gone to waste. And here's an even worse scenario. What if they actually allow Hammer to get to the beam? This is potentially just a one-way ticket to a Reaper blending machine. It would be nice if we had a probe or maybe one of those MALPs or Kinos from Stargate, since we still have no idea how this alien energy space elevator thing works. Now, assuming the Reapers don't turn it off, and if the beam can penetrate the hull of the closed Citadel, why not just fly into the beam? Why go to London at all? Just take the ship up and hit the beam in space. And if on closer inspection the beam isn't going through the whole of the Citadel, then maybe there's a way to get through the Citadel at that particular point. Why choose the most difficult solution without gaining more intel? We're in spaceships with scanners and probes. So, let's assume if we safely get up to the Citadel and Presidium, however, and if we aren't liquefied in the makeshift human Reaper factory, and if we manage to stop whatever opposing forces we have there, and if we get the opportunity to move and explore, and if we find a control console to open the Citadel arms, how are we going to hack a Reaper-controlled console? The Reapers are in control of the Citadel. At this point, they've won. Why would they not use their amazing superior Reaper computer technology to allow anyone to open up the Citadel arms? With upgraded Reaper tech, even Legion says the Geth can't comprehend the Reapers.
The old machine took total control of our sensory equipment, our networking. Even then, we could not fully comprehend them. They are magnitudes above us. A single thought was immense, overwhelming, unknowable.
We sure as hell aren't going to trust a typical random soldier like Vega to do this, and he's supposed to be better than average. And no offense to Tally, but I think this is out of her league. The best bet might be Edie, but again, no one seems to think about this or even care. Now, if this was the plan, then who you chose to come with you to open up the Citadel arms should have been based on your choices throughout the story, like with the Quarians or the Geth. Or, like in Mass Effect 2, who you choose as a tech expert will determine how this plan plays out, hopefully without completely contrived, stupid logic. But no one's even thinking about this, even though the entire time we're trying to stop Reapers, and we supposedly are going to hack a Reaper-controlled console to open up the Citadel arms. How about repurposing that Prothean data hack Vigil gave us that the scientists on Ilos used on the Keepers to stop Sovereign from opening up the Citadel? Wait a second. Ilos? Uh-oh. Here's the big one. Why not just use the Conduit on Ilos? Next to the Reapers not attacking the Citadel till now, this is the second biggest plot hole in the story. Everyone and their kid knows the Battle of the Citadel and how Shepard saved the day. This makes no sense, and everyone in the room is either completely forgetful or a moron. Shepard's a moron. Hackett's a moron. Anderson's a moron. They're all morons. And where's Liara? Wouldn't the ultimate Shepard fangirl / Prothean researcher have something to say about this plan? And if the Conduit is not working or Vigil isn't juiced up, well, hey, that's why God invented Duracell. If we can build a magical and mysterious anti-Reaper weapon that no one knows how it works and has been in the works for billions of years, I think we can fix a darned Prothean relay that's over 50,002 years old. This calls into question the plot of Mass Effect 1, which everyone in the room, like Shepard, should be intimately aware of. What was the point of Mass Effect 1 if everyone involved forgot about its events? So why not just use the Conduit? Hello, writing team, Mr. Hudson? Anyone. Did everyone on the project forget the entire point of Mass Effect 1? That whole race to find the Conduit? How Shepard saved the Citadel? All you had to do was make some excuse why you couldn't use it. Oh wait, you didn't need to, because you suddenly called the Citadel Beam the Conduit. Really? What? Are you trying to insult us? Would you please stop doing that? Some of us actually have memories, and we can recall both your mistakes and a few of your successes. And any players who went through Mass Effect 1 and forgot about the Conduit, well, they pause the game and go, oh, right, the Conduit, I remember that. Wait, why didn't we just use it? Then Hackett pops in with even more stupid.
Conventionally, we can't defeat the Reapers without the Crucible.
Okay, this is really hurting my head now. How does Hackett know what the Crucible does? It's probably just a really bad line, but still. So it can help us defeat the Reapers conventionally. Really. All right, Admiral. Any insights on how you know this? Anyway, here's the fix. It's all rather simple. Just use the real Conduit. Just pay attention to your own stories. Everyone involved, especially the viewer, would be more intelligent for it. In fact, the viewer would feel empowered, knowing the Reapers in this cycle weren't expecting another surprise attack like Shepard already performed on Saren and Sovereign. Maybe Sovereign never got the chance to tell his buddies. Wow, what a surprise twist on Team Milky Way. In fact, if this was a choice, it would be an option for people who only played Mass Effect 1. What a great idea. Using concepts from the previous part of the story instead of inventing a new plot device. Wow. So, anyway, we order the fleets to go through the Charon Relay, which is so conveniently still open, even though the Reapers control the Citadel. We do this to attack the Reapers at Earth and thus follow Anderson's ridiculous plan. The fleet comes pouring in through the relay. This is all epic and impressive and blah-de-blah, and they start reporting in from Jokers and their perspective. We then see a shot of them as they pass Jupiter. It all seems like it's happening in real time, and we can forgive the cut between these scenes to account for random jumps in time. That's fine. The problem with all this is it takes roughly 5 hours to get from Pluto to Earth at light speed, so that's okay because Mass Effect 2 FTL can allow for some crazy high speeds, like 200 times light speed. The problem then is the appearance of various higher speeds of light. Jupiter is not blue shifting or red shifting. It's clearly visible, which means white light. All the ships are also visible. They're in perfect view. This is FTL in Mass Effect 3. So either Shepard is standing around for hours next to Joker waiting for random fleets to report in, or the fleet jumped out of FTL at Jupiter. So the only logical conclusion is the fleet jumped out of FTL to pass by Jupiter and then jump back in to get near Earth. This is not me being nitpicky. These are entire planets. There is a disconnect between these two scenes, so we have to ask, why did the fleet exit FTL at Jupiter? Was it to take in the view? Ah, Shepard! So, we finally hit Earth, and we're throwing everything we've got at the Reapers. Finally, a fleet spaceship battle. Too bad we can't play this, though. But this raises a different, huge, gigantic problem. Why are we bombing Earth? I know the Reapers are in the way of Earth, but we are launching the largest military force in history, and we are firing everything we've got at the Reapers, and behind the Reapers is Earth. A little visit to the Codex says this about Dreadnought weapons. An 800-meter mass accelerator is capable of accelerating one 20-kilogram slug to the speed of 1.3% of light every 2 seconds. Each slug has the kinetic energy about 38 kilotons of TNT, and about 2.5 times the energy released by the fission weapon that destroyed Hiroshima. And then there's the entry on Citadel conventions. The use of WMDs are forbidden on garden worlds like Earth, with ecospheres that can readily support a population. If a habitable world is destroyed, it will not be replaced for millions of years. The conventions do not forbid the use of them on hostile worlds or in sealed space station environments. Many militaries continue to develop and maintain stockpiles. They also have a rating system, Tier 1 being the most destructive. Tier 3 account for large energy burst weapons such as nuclear or antimatter warheads. Dreadnought weapons have this much destructive power. Tier 1 are large kinetic impactors, things like asteroid drops or deorbited space stations. Arcturus Station was 5 kilometers long. Hundreds, if not thousands, of Sovereign-class Reaper ships surround Earth, and are 2 kilometers long. Now, the Citadel Convention allows for these weapons to be used on hostile worlds, but I'm quite sure Anderson wouldn't be okay with this. So even if the difficult-to-aim shots from every surviving Dreadnought in the galaxy miss the Reapers every 2 seconds, you've got multiple nuclear explosions hitting the planet. They'll either cause a massive explosion in the atmosphere or simply hit the planet. And if they do hit the Reapers, well, now you have several 100-meter-long or larger pieces of Reaper debris orbiting and eventually smashing into the planet. And those are just the fleet's dreadnoughts. This says nothing of the carriers, cruisers, fighters, frigates, and interceptors and other types from the Geth, Quarians, Turians, Asari, Solarians, and of course the Alliance. Bonus points for getting the Volus bombing fleet and saving the Destiny Ascension. Congratulations, you're bombing Earth. And what does this do? Well, you get nuclear winters, huge natural disasters like tsunamis and hurricanes, destruction of the atmosphere from massive dust clouds filled with all kinds of materials, throw in some radioactive material in there, circulating in the sky and potentially blocking out the sun. Contaminations of all kinds would enter natural habitats and destroy them. Life as it is would be completely changed or nearly wiped out. Let's also keep in mind, during this entire time, we're trying to send ground forces into London through the middle of all this chaos. I mean, look at this insane battle. I mean, I can't even follow this thing anymore. We're effectively now worse than the Reapers. Whereas the Reapers were destroying buildings and small moving targets by getting close and using precision attacks, and doing so slowly, we're decimating entire ecosystems with nuclear-grade weaponry within minutes. So naturally, this raises the plot hole of, are we actually trying to save Earth or destroy it? I mean, how are we going to land Hammer? Is there going to be anything left of London? Now, if the plot did involve sacrificing Earth to save the galaxy, that would be a hell of a twist and quite the renegade option. But it seems like we're all doing that anyway. Great. Oh, look, the Reapers turned the beam off. Of course, we had to follow the plan of the guy on the planet who gave us a ground war solution to a space war problem. Well, that's just great times two. We've lost again. So now what? Oh, we just keep going? Yeah, that's okay, follow the plan. All right, let's go. So you just got to change the vector here. Either get the ships to change their approach or just have Hackett try and subvert how he hates targeting Earth and he'll make sure all his shots count, or the problem of space debris. I don't know. That's a big one. I mean, that's out of my league. So instead of having a nuclear winter, it's just really dark in London. There's this Hades cannon, I'm not sure what that is, which looks like it's attached to the back of a Spider Reaper, and Shepard wants to take it out.
How do we do that?
Well, Liara, if you remember, we just killed one on Rannoch. We use a targeting laser, and then maybe we ask the Sword Fleet to attack it while it's firing its laser thing, and then we just...
That downed shuttle would have been carrying heavy weapons.
Wait, what?
Perfect. You heard the man.
Shepard, since when could heavy weapons kill Spider Reapers? Can they? I thought it took the whole damn Quarian fleet and this precision timing and aim, and it was this dramatic, lengthy, lethal trial and error process with this entire space war going on while Shepard rolled around on the planet with a targeting laser. I mean, it wouldn't have made sense to do that again, only amp up the drama, like instead of a boring, emotionless slugfest through black and gray streets with no music and no excitement, just But now suddenly, heavy weapons can kill Spider Reapers. You mean heavy weapons like the Firestorm? What, is Shepard going to climb on top of Reaper's spider and light it on fire?
Try, you son of a bitch.
How does Cortez know this? And why didn't he tell us? Since he's our armory guy, why wasn't he stocking us up with heavy weapons when we're a Spec Ops infiltration team who are fighting Reapers? What was the point of the battle at Rannoch if all we needed was to carry heavy weapons? Because, let me tell you, that would have been pretty fun to play too, switching between our team instead of dodging a frickin' laser beam by rolling around on an impossible looking mountain vista. No, I'm sorry, Mass Effect 3, you messed this one up big time. This goes all the way. Why didn't we do this before? What was the point of fighting the Spider Reaper on Rannoch and Tuchanka? Heck, the fight on Tuchanka would have been great. Either hit the hammers or kill the Reaper. Hell, you could even try killing the Thresher Maw if you had even more ammo left. So I guess that means we've always had the ability to stop Spider Reapers? Why didn't anyone say anything? I'm sure Anderson would have liked to know. Why waste time, money, and resources into troops, guns, and munitions running around the galaxy picking up people when all you needed was a select few heavy weapon guys? Screw the Crucible, just build an armada and get those guys from Mass Effect 2, the Blue Suns. Yeah, they had heavy weapons. Wow. Huh. Mass Effect 2 has a purpose. This raises a whole bunch of other questions. So why were heavy weapons removed in this game? Was the word heavy too complex a concept to put into the weight system of Mass Effect 3 and would have made the game too easy? Or the fact that Vanguard is a heavy weapon, even on the highest difficulty? Raise your hand if you wanted to Vanguard charge a Reaper. Come on. I know you wanted to. We even pick up heavy weapons, so why couldn't we buy and make our own? I really don't recall anything in the narrative telling us we couldn't, or how it was subverted, or anything telling us why not. So what's the big deal? It's kind of rare for a game series to remove gameplay options that worked fine previously. I don't recall a problem with heavy weapons or anyone complaining about them. Well, at least they didn't retcon anything this time around, they just removed them. But they didn't explain why, and now we know. It's because they'd be a walking plot device. Uh-oh, we can't have that. Can't kill Spider Reapers with heavy weapons. Yep, gotta get rid of that. And while we're on this topic, what the hell is this? Who called it the Black Star?
Lone Star!
It looks like one of the model ships Shepard puts up in his cabin with a frickin' choke and a trigger. I mean, any way you look at it, it's just a miniaturized Sovereign-class Reaper ship gun. Why did the Reaper mooks not even use this on us? Hell, why didn't normal Reaper forces carry any of these things? Why didn't the Turians pick it up and use it? Why didn't we take it and study it and manufacture it? We did that with the collector gun. That was no big deal. Even the description for this thing is ridiculous. Researchers theorize the blast tears apart the strong nuclear force that hold the target's atoms together, resulting in a localized fusion reaction in light atoms and a fission reaction in heavy atoms. If that hypothesis is correct, the weapon alters nuclei, thus changing the chemical composition of a target. So let's say you have a piece of hydrogen paper. It will suddenly want to fuse with other pieces of hydrogen paper to make helium paper, but paper made of uranium, that's just going to fall apart because it's heavy, or I don't know. If the Reapers had this ability to put into a gun, they could make their own star systems. Scientists theorize it's causing fusion and fission. Okay, what, does this thing shoot out suns? And if the weapon alters nuclei, thus you change the chemical composition? An atomic reaction changes the nuclei or the number of nucleons, as in protons and neutrons of an atom, potentially making isotopes of another element, and thus becoming a different atom entirely. That's what nuclear fusion and fission does. New atoms are produced, fusion makes them denser, and fission less dense. In chemical reactions, you are just losing or gaining electrons, which also alters the chemical composition. So, Mr. Writer guy, you either understand the difference between an atomic and chemical reaction, or you don't. I'm quite sure someone scientifically literate wouldn't state what you just wrote. It's almost a non sequitur. Anyway, so we go through some annoying, ground-shaking, repetitive, loud gameplay as that cannon thing keeps firing. And then something really, I don't know, really weird happens. We all know Mass Effect 3 was a rush job. It's filled with glitches. Even a certain line by FemShep doesn't even play. But it goes to show you just how out of touch everything has now become. This scene neatly describes the entire Mass Effect 3 experience. Shepard freaks out, everything around them is exploding, and suddenly retardedness. Even though Steve Cortez tells us he's got our backs 100% of the time in the air, no question, nothing's going to hold him back, but if we didn't talk to him about his personal problem, he gets shot out of the sky and dies. Really. And then our party reacts. And believe it or not, James seems the most, less retarded.
You're gonna pay for that, you fuckers! Ah, come on! Come on, yeah!
I think he's trying to rally us. Is he screaming at us? The enemy? Well, maybe it's motivational. Caden is, well, he's not taking this well at all.
You're gonna pay for that! Ah!
I think we might need to talk to him a bit more because, that might cause him to commit suicide if we don't. And then we have Ashley.
You're gonna pay for that, you bastards! Ah!
Well, I'm glad she got that out of her system.
Whoa, is he alright? Who took my purse? Well, anyway, got that out of my system. Roll fizzle beef.
Damn it, I'm hit!
Steve!
I'm alright!
You sure?
But I won't be picking you up. I gotta land this bird quick.
Get safe.
Anything for you.
Man, I guess we really should have put our faith in Blast Hard Cheese. So we eventually find the heavy weapon, and it's the cane. Oh, well, that was easy. At first I thought it just bounced off the shields, but it connected. Okay, cool. So, yeah, screw getting dreadnoughts. We should just mount canes on every ship in the fleet. This Reaper ground war will be over in about a day or two. Since Cortez got shot down, we get picked up by Hawk and meet up with Anderson, and nothing they say has any value. It's completely forgettable, as is the cutscene that follows. The only thing that might be important is Anderson patting Shepard on the back, and then Hawk patting Anderson on the back. We finally arrive at the forward operating base where Hawk pats Shepard on the back. We get to say goodbye to people over VidCom, and this communication technician either invented the galactic yellow pages or the contact information of everyone Shepard has ever known is publicly available. I mean, this guy could put Samantha to tears.
Grunt.
Certainly. I'll connect you now.
How the hell would this guy know who Grunt is, let alone his contact info, and how would Grunt be available for communication? Ditto for everyone. Shepard's not even giving commands, he's just making social calls. It's completely contrived, but it has nothing to do with anything, so let's just move on. Then we come across this turret, and it's... Yes, this is Mass Effect 3. You have a gameplay mechanic. It's great. Yeah, okay. Can we get on with this? And then there's Liara. Now, all the conversations with the people here are fine and optional. It's just this one that isn't very clear. Liara wants to join our consciousness so she can share her memories with Shepard as a parting gift. Okay, so we get a scene of Liara and Shepard in space. They look at this white horizon thing while the Vigil theme sort of plays, and then the whole world explodes, and... did Liara have a memory of a star exploding? What the hell was that? Oh god, don't tell me it was all a dream. So we eventually meet up with Hawk and Anderson, and they're talking about stopping the Spider Reaper on the ground. Hawk says this.
But our biggest concern is the destroyer, protecting the beam itself.
Can we bring in air support to deal with it?
Did you miss the memo, or did Shepard stupidly forget to tell fission ships over here you either need heavy weapons, or at least one cane blast, or an entire fleet of ships in orbit, synced up for a precision shot when it opens its armor and begins to fire its laser to kill the thing? I think that would have been the best morale booster too, not just some rousing speech. Because air support, yeah, we tried that on Tuchanka, it really didn't do anything. Shepard, you did tell people how to kill the Spider Reapers, right? Right? Oh my god, he didn't tell him, did he? Why didn't Shepard tell people how to kill Reapers?
We need to get our tanks to here, if we get close enough. We've got a shot at taking that thing out.
Tanks aren't going to work, Anderson. Shepard, please, say something. Canes or fleets? That's how you... forget it. Then we get this really sloppy cutscene of war where we have this Krogan firing his shotgun and a bunch of Avenger assault rifles being fired. Wow, great timing there, sound guy. Seriously, who put this crap together? The vacuum of space had more sound than this. So we support the Makos, and then we get a random Marine over the radio.
Anybody know how the hell we're supposed to take down a destroyer with tanks? What's
a Thanix missile? We know what a Thanix cannon is, and it doesn't fire missiles. It shoots superheated molten metal. So, what are these missiles, and when did the Mako get them?
Without those missiles, we've got no chance.
Canes or fleets? Those are our two options. Now, this next scene is just insulting. All the ground forces just start blasting at the Spider Reaper. Canes or fleets? Oh, look. The Tyrian guy has a heavy weapon. Okay, it's a missile or grenade launcher. Oh, it didn't work. Gee, that sucks. I guess that wasn't a cane. And now we have to secure a missile battery. Oh, well, those aren't Makos. So they're missile tanks. Oh. Well, why didn't anyone tell us? The lack of communication between the people, let alone the audience, is horrendous. What is going on? Psst. No. The writing just sucks. Turns out the beam, which the Reapers suddenly turn back on again, is interfering with missile guidance, so we get Edie to use the Normandy to fix the targeting problem. And we need to defend the battery.
Commander, we tried to hold them off, but they destroyed our trucks, overwhelmed our position.
Oh, you had trucks too? Okay.
You heard her. Back to the truck, people.
Okay, this is getting stupid. What the hell, BioWare? Now, Shepard is getting this wrong. Are we defending tanks, trucks, or missile batteries? Just pick one, call it that, and stick with it. My god, who the hell edited this thing? So we launch the missiles, but the Reaper's still too close to the beam, so the missiles miss, so we have round 2 of defending these truck missile battery tank things. And then we get the music we had at the beginning of the game when we were waiting for to be picked up in Vancouver. Yeah, during the intro, and during destroying the Hades cannons. That's okay, BioWare, just keep reusing the same assets. No one's going to notice, no one's going to care. Screw that AAA budget, you've got a game to go gold. Canes or fleets? So we finally fire the second volley, which barely gets through the shielding as it tries to close, but it still doesn't kill it. Then Shepard orders whomever else is around to hit it with everything they've got. Oh, wait, why was the ground team holding back? It looks like they had missile launchers or something. The missiles then hit the exterior hull of the Reaper Spider and explodes like crazy, maybe even larger than the Phoenix missile explosion. Now, can someone please tell me, did this Spider Reaper fall down as a result of the Phoenix missiles or as a result of hitting it with everything they got? I really don't know, because a cane can blow up a Spider Reaper regardless of its hull being closed, and I don't know what these magical Phoenix missiles do, so Anderson meets up with us where we are and tells us this.
Several Sovereign-class Reapers, including Harbinger, have broken off from the battle with Sword. They're headed here.
Harbinger?
How does Hackett know Harbinger is coming? No, really, all we've seen are Sovereign-class Reapers and these Spider Reapers. They pretty much look identical no matter what the ending cinematic of Mass Effect 2 showed us. And they don't say anything unless they're about to die. So really, how the hell does Hackett know Harbinger is coming? Did they start broadcasting some random crap?
If I must tear you apart, Shepard, I will. You will know pain, Shepard. This hurts you. My attacks will tear you apart. You cannot resist.
I didn't see you playing with your dolls again. Good!
I'll get you next time, Gadget.
Because then I'd believe you. So, we're in position, and Swordfleet decides to move the Crucible to the Citadel. It arrives at the Charon Relay and has plenty of time to get to Earth. We notice a large propeller on the front of it. I guess someone in the past billion years wanted to play a joke on their predecessors and put a massive propeller on a space vehicle. Yeah, that's great. And hey, it's that music again. And then we get a picture of the Reapers and the Citadel, and the beam's turned off again. Well, there goes our plans again. It looks like the Reapers are turning this thing on and off like a light switch. And something even more jarring. Look, the Citadel has a giant hole big enough to fly ships through. Oh dear. Gee, the Citadel has a hole, so why didn't anyone do any reconnaissance? I mean, we just threw the Sword Fleet at the Reapers. Couldn't anyone launch some probes of the Citadel, maybe take some pictures and go, oh, the beam got turned off and there's a massive hole in the Citadel. I guess we better tell someone or something. And maybe change our plans and attack it directly. But this is a third-person mission perspective, and the cutscenes for our eyes only. At this point of the entire plan, the Sword Fleet, the Hammer Fleet, the Shield teams, this has been completely subverted by Reapers turning on and off the beam multiple times, incompetent leaders who can't do basic reconnaissance, and entire groups of people neglecting their past even though their actions spurred galaxy-changing events which everyone's aware of, which could have helped their cause in this current plot. In case you haven't been paying attention, the plot is inextricably broken. It doesn't make sense now. There's no reason to pay attention to any more of this crap. All you're going to get is nonsense. Everything after this is stupid, shoddy writing. I mean, if you look at the angle the Reapers are going into Earth, supposedly London, and then compare that to the relation to the orientation of the Citadel, it's... So we're riding around what I think is a truck. Maybe it has Phoenix missiles on its hood, and it's called the Mako on weekends. So our Mako truck missile launcher hits a pothole, and we have to make it out on foot. Okay, I gotta get ready. I gotta be in the mood for this first.
Fear is the mind killer. Only the very strong ones travel this deep.
Crucible has called a big one. Again, it is the legend.
The sleeper has awakened!
No, not doing it for me.
You're gonna pay for that, you bastards!
There we go. Now we're ready.
Damn it, I'm hit. Steve! I'm all right.
You sure?
But I won't be picking you up. I gotta land this bird quick.
Get safe.